We go. All right, thank you for joining tonight, for carving out some beautiful time in your day today to give yourself a little rest, restore, re-energizing through the practice of yoga. And tonight's treat is that we are going to begin in Shavasana. So go ahead and lay down on your mat, taking up as much room as possible as you spread your legs wide and separate your arms away from your body with the palms turned up. And allow your eyes to close. We're just going to take a few moments here, unplugging from our day. So I just want you to consciously kind of release whatever attachments you have, whether it's things to do or things that are kind of running around in your head. If you're reviewing or going over something, let's just unplug from all of that busyness and instead take this opportunity to plug into your mat below you. That may take a couple of deep breaths in and out of your nose to get to that place where you really feel supported and as if you have released some weight, the heaviness of your day. And just let all of that energy kind of ground you down and release it into Mother Earth. Mother Earth is a very beautiful and deep place where we can kind of let go and transform that energy. She'll take care of bringing it around and manifesting it into something positive, right? So if we're releasing negativity, she'll make it positive. So just feel that and let yourself go here. Relax the front of the shoulders, roll them back and down. And if the shoulders are feeling tight, then simply walk them slightly away from the spine. Feel the backs of the hips and the heels and the shoulder blades grounding into the floor below you. And then just observe the breath. Watch the inhale as it travels through the nose, down the back of the throat, inflating your belly, your ribs, and your chest. And following the exhale as the belly releases and the breath draws up through the ribs and out through the chest, back across the throat and out through the nose. Just taking a few rounds of very conscious breathing, being very aware of each breath in, drawing it in deep down into the belly. And then feeling that cleansing breath as you draw out. Inhale, we draw in the fresh breath, the oxygen. We feel ourselves fill up in all directions, even the back body fills open. And then we exhale out, that breath exchange. Couple more rounds, just to establish a nice steady breath here. Feeling yourself getting into a rhythm that works for you. And reminding yourself that our breath is really what brings together the mind and the body in this practice. The word yoga translates to yoking or binding or bringing together. And that's the job of the breath in this practice. It unites our body and our mind. See if you can feel that connection here as you breathe in, letting your mind follow that breath, expanding in all three directions, forward, back, and to the sides. And then exhaling, letting it go. Continue with the mind's eye to follow the breath out. Taking another breath in, let's hold it at the top and just feel yourself as this beautiful container of life force energy. To release, we'll open our mouth and sigh it all the way out. Emptying and then staying empty at the bottom. And see if you can squeeze your navel into your spine and squeeze out a little bit more air. And then release. Just come into your natural breathing pattern in and out through the nose. Go ahead and ease the eyes open and bend your knees and slide your feet in so they're as wide as the mat. And we're just going to begin to let the knees drop to the right and turn our chin to the left. And then up through center and take it over in the opposite direction. Knees to the left, chin to the right. Just moving through this windshield motion, beginning to wake up our spine and our hips and our neck. Relaxing the shoulders. Let everything else start to move and stretch. And just think of this as a little moving meditation, an opportunity where you can begin to coordinate your movement with your breath and your breath with your movement. Once you come back over to the right side, let's pause with the knees to the right. The chin is turned to the left. Pick up your right foot and lay it on top of your left thigh. Just see if you can deepen this stretch here, feeling it maybe from the top of your hip, outside edge, maybe through the glutes, down and out through that IT band, your quad. Trying to lengthen that space from your hip to your knee. Breathing in and out here. Let this feel good. I remember in yoga, we want to go to a place that maybe we feel a satisfying stretch, but we don't want to hurt ourselves in any way. So be your own teacher, your own guide, and listen. If you need to modify or pull back, then you do so. Take another breath in. Keep your ankle on top of your thigh, and as you exhale, roll back onto your flat back and pick up your left foot from the floor. Thread your hands behind your thigh, coming into supine figure 4. Your right elbow finds the inside of your right thigh, and you're just going to gently press it away. Keep both feet flexed to protect the mobility of the knees. And take this to any degree of openness that you can. Close your eyes if you'd like, and just breathe into that right outer hip. You've spent a lot of time sitting or in the car today. This is going to feel really good, and it's just the tonic that you need. Sending breath into that right hip, creating some space. Let's take another breath in. And on the exhale, extend your left leg long and bring your right knee into your chest. So your hands are going to thread across the front of that right shin. You are welcome to keep the left foot floating off the mat as I'm doing. And here we can both roll out both ankles. So just getting a little movement in those ankles. You can also anchor the left heel to the mat, your choice. You'll do a little more toning of that left thigh if you choose to keep it elevated. Bring the feet to stillness. Draw that knee closer into your chest. Continue to relax the shoulders down and away from the ears. Feel the stretch in the back of your left leg. And feel the stretch deepen into that right hip crease. Take a nice full breath in here, and as you exhale, you're going to roll your head, neck, and shoulders up as if your forehead were coming to your knee. So staying here for a moment, just engaging our lower abdominals. Again, that left foot can be up or down, your choice. We're going to begin to alternate pulling the knees in. So right knee in on the inhale. Exhale, left knee in as the right leg lengthens. Keep on alternating, and then keep drawing your belly towards the floor. So nice flat back here, strong abdominals. If this is too much on your neck, you can always lay the back of the head down. If you want to go a little bit deeper, maybe release the arms and reach them towards the end of your mat. Drawing the knees in slowly, alternating right and left. Feeling a little heat start to build in our core center, activating that solar plexus, which is the seat of our self-worth, how we feel about ourselves. Pretty powerful chakra in the chakra system. Take one more, and then bring that right knee in, lower all the way down, left heel to the mat. Let's extend that right leg up to the sky. So the goal is to come to straight, but none of us are probably going to get to straight. If the hamstrings are tight, do your best, keep the knee bent. And let's go ahead and point and flex that foot. Pointing the toes up to the sky, flexing them down towards you. Just feeling a nice stretch. And as you begin to warm up, then see if you can walk your hands further up your leg and draw that thigh in a little bit closer to your chest. Always reminding ourselves to keep the shoulders relaxed, to keep our breath steady, and to relax our jaw and the muscles in our face. Staying with this and breathing through it, knowing that our practice helps to teach us patience, really helps us to tune into our bodies and our thoughts, how we react to things. All right, let's take our hands out to a T for balance. Take a deep breath in and then deeply flex that top foot. As you exhale, you're going to slowly lower it to the floor with control. Nice and slow, pressing the heel away from you, drawing the toes back towards you. And then once the heel lands, just let the legs go slack and relax and pause and just feel into the body for a moment. Notice the difference between your legs and just notice how that felt in your core, where there might be a little stickiness or where you're starting to feel nice and open. Good, walk the feet back as you bend the knees. Feet are placed as wide as the mat. And we'll take this on the other side. So just go ahead and windshield wiper from side to side. You're turning your chin in the opposite direction of the knees. This should feel really nice. Notice one side might be a little stickier than the other. And then once you find the left side, allow the knees to land, and then pick up that left foot and place it on the outside of your right thigh. Just adding a little bit of weight here to help deepen the stretch. If it's not appropriate, then just keep the foot on the floor. Paying attention to what feels good and right in your body on this side. Can you appreciate the nice twist in the spine? Can you appreciate that lengthening effect from the top of your right hip crease down towards your right knee? Opening up all that connective tissue in your outer hip band. Let's draw the head to center, roll onto your back. Pick up that right foot and thread your hands through, clasping behind the right thigh. Finding our supine figure 4, left elbow to the inside of the left thigh. Both feet are flexed here. You can see by looking at me that my arms are engaged. I'm actually really pulling my right thigh in towards me at the same time that I'm using my left elbow to press my knee open. So there's active engagement here. You can take this as deep as you would like, or maybe you just need to go easy on this side. Pay attention to what the body needs here. And breathe into it. Most importantly, lean into your breath. This is a pretty juicy hip opener. Try to relax into it as much as you can. Take a nice deep breath, and on the exhale, you'll extend your right leg long and you'll bring your left knee into your chest, giving it a good squeeze across the top of the shin. My right foot is hovering over the mat. You don't have to do that, but if you'd like to, it's a nice way to tone that thigh. Let's roll out the ankles, taking them in one direction and then the other. Maybe releasing a few little snap, crackles, and pops. I always get them. Feels really good to let go of that energy. And then give a good squeeze in of that thigh. Press through your right heel. Draw that right leg long. Relax your shoulders, but keep giving yourself a good squeeze, thigh to ribs. Take a full breath in, and as you exhale, roll up, bringing your forehead towards your knee. Same thing here, we'll begin to alternate. So left knee in, right knee in. You can use your hands to guide the shin in closer if you'd like, or maybe once again, you release the arms and you take this nice and slow. Always remember that you can bring the head, neck, and shoulders down if this is too much. For a little extra, you might want to try straightening your legs and just scissoring. This is a little more intense. You can really feel it on your core. You can feel it in your legs. Do whatever works for you. Let's take it for a few more breaths. Firing up that core, so important. One more breath in. On the exhale, draw that left knee in, relax the right heel to the floor, head, neck, and shoulders come down. Let's extend that left leg up to the sky, and we're gonna point and flex the foot. Stretching into the front of the ankle and all those little muscles across the top of your foot. Feeling the arch, getting a good stretch as well. And walking your hands up, drawing that thigh bone as close towards you as you can. Maybe you find a little straightness here. If you don't, that's okay. Right? We're just here to open up the body from wherever we are. There's no judgment or no perfection. It's just a state of mind, really. Can we be open to where our bodies are tonight? Take one more breath in here. On the exhale, arms come out like a T, helping us to stay balanced. You're gonna flex your left foot quite a bit. And then as you exhale, you're gonna lead with your heel and you're gonna slowly lower that leg down as if you're moving through cookie dough or something wonderful like that. Reaching out through the heel, taking your time to bring it down. And then once the heel lands, relax the legs, let the feet flop open, maybe give a little wiggle to the hips from side to side. And just pause here, and take note. Observe how you feel. Notice any changes. Beautiful, and then bring your arms alongside of you. We're gonna prop up onto our elbows and come up into a little sort of modified fish pose. So you want your elbows to stack underneath your shoulders. You're gonna roll your shoulders back, point your toes, and then just lift your chest. Look up and drop the head back if that feels good. Widening across the collarbones, grounding through your tailbone. Squeezing the shoulder blades onto the back, breathe in. And then breathe out. Look forward, come up onto the hands, and you're gonna place your hands back behind you with your fingertips facing your sit bones. Walk your feet in and line your heels up with your sit bones here. Your feet are gonna be the width of the hips, so there's a space between your knees. Take a moment to roll the shoulder heads back and engage your blades on your back. And then once you have that openness of the chest, press into the feet and the hands, scoop the tailbone and lift up, coming into a reverse tabletop here. You want to draw that tailbone towards the back of your knees. You want to hug your inner thighs in and down. And then keep that engagement of your blades on your back by squeezing them together. Option to drop the head back and open up the throat. Little extra openness to the heart center, anahata, heart chakra. Breathing in here and the throat chakra, vishuddha. One more breath. Exhale, slowly bring yourselves all the way down. Nice work, guys. Let's swing the legs around and come into tabletop position and set yourself up for a few rounds of cow and cat. So your choice as to how you would like to place your hands. I like to get a little wrist stretch myself, so I like to turn my fingertips towards my kneecaps. You can also bring them out to the side like little seal flippers. That's a nice variation as well, or just standard. Whatever you do, spread your fingers out nice and wide. Line your knees up underneath your hips. And then let's take a deep breath in to begin. And then we'll exhale right into cat pose. So tuck the tailbone under, press into your hands, curl your chin in towards your chest, and see if you can open up your shoulder blades a little bit more. Then on the inhale, we'll find our cow pose. Tailbone curls up, heart pulls through, lift the crown of the head up. And then exhale, rounding. Try to keep your arms straight the entire time you do this so that the lower limbs are not moving at all. What's moving is the spine. So you may want to just close your eyes and articulate that in your mind's eye, just paying attention to the spine extending in cow pose and then flexing in cat pose. One more round, nice deep and full breaths, moving with ease. Exhaling as you round it up. Pull your navel towards your spine. And then slowly release. If you had your wrists in a certain position, let's bring it back to normal. Give them a little wiggle out. And then we'll slide the right leg all the way back behind us. Come onto the toe tips. And extend the left arm forward. So you want your arm to line up with your ear more or less. I'm tucking my left toes back behind me for a little more stability. You're going to float that right leg up as well. So the right leg is long and you're pressing through the heel, flexing the toes down, and you're trying to draw your heel in line with your sit bone. The spine is long. The neck is in alignment with the spine. So you're looking down at the mat, you're reaching out in both directions, through the fingers and back through that heel. Take a nice full breath in here. Pull your belly towards your back body. So feel the engagement of front and back body here. Exhale, get a little bit longer. One more breath in to lengthen. On the exhale, left hand comes down. Your right foot is going to swing off the mat all the way to the left. Ground down through the toes, press your heel away and turn to look over your left shoulder, pressing your hips to the right. So getting this nice C-curve shape out of your body. Root through your right toes, press your right heel away. And send the hips to the right. One more breath in, nice side body opener. Exhale, come back to center. Now bring your right foot into the center of the mat and roll on to the full sole of it. Kickstand your left foot off the mat and roll open to the right side. You're going to bring your right arm up and overhead, coming into a modified side plank here. Try to bring your arms to stack. Wrist to shoulder, shoulder to wrist. Spread your fingers out nice and wide. Take a full breath in, rooting through the sole of that right foot. As you exhale, use your outer hip muscles and lift the leg and send the right arm up and overhead. Press through your right foot as if you were stamping it onto a wall behind you. Reach long in both directions. Keep your throat nice and open here. Breathe in. Breathe out. Beautiful. Let's lower down. Come back to your tabletop position. And then take a child's pose. Knees together, hips back towards the heels. Ground the forehead down to the mat. Stretch out your low back. Stretch out your glutes. Come back into your breath. Breathing in and breathing out. Good, back up to tabletop. Let's take this on the other side. So we'll slide the left toes back. Extend the right arm forward. Beginning to feel that diagonal line of energy. Lift the left foot off the mat, flex the toes. And in your mind's eye, align from your fingertips to your back heel. You want to square your hips down so the front of both hips are facing the mat. Your right arm is reaching out past your fingertips, past the top edge of your mat. Long, long, long as you press back through your left inner heel. Belly pulls to spine. Breathe in. Breathe out, get a little bit longer. Breathe in, strong core. Breathe out. One more breath in. Exhale, right hand down, swing your left toes off the mat to the right. Plug them in and then press the heel away. You're gonna turn your gaze over your right shoulder. You're gonna press your hips to the left. This should feel really nice as you open up that entire chain of muscles along your left side. One more nice deep breath in. And then on the exhale, come back to center, swing your left foot into the middle of your mat. Bring the sole all the way down to the floor, and then I have a little puppy in the way, but hopefully I can work around him. Kickstand your right foot off the mat and bring your left arm up. So taking this side for our modified side plank, you want to stack your wrists and shoulders. Reach up towards the sky with that left hand. Root down strongly through that left foot. Take a nice deep breath in, and then using core and IT band muscles, lift that left leg and float your left arm overhead, reaching towards the top of your mat. Stay engaged and breathe, pressing that left foot away from you. Nice and strong, steady breaths. One more breath in, and then exhale. Let's come back to tabletop. Let's revisit child's pose. Shift those hips back towards the heels. Walk your hands forward, ground the forehead down. Check in with your breath. Now's a good time to regulate it. Stay with your yoga thoughts and be in your body. Now as we inhale, come up onto hands and knees. Your arms stay forward. As you exhale, we're going to drop the hips and just pull the heart through into a gentle back bend. So knees are grounded, tops of the feet are onto the mat. Broaden the shoulders like you did when we were in reverse tabletop. Feel that. And then on the exhale, hug your navel towards your spine. Let's round back to child's pose. And we'll do that a few times. It's just beautiful flow to open up our shoulders and our hips and our chest. Inhaling forward to this modified cobra up dog variation. Exhale, rounding it back to child's. Again, inhale, nice deep breath, floats you forward, hips melt down while the heart lifts up. Exhale, tucking and rounding all the way back. Good, last time, inhale, we'll come forward here. Breathing in, and on the exhale, lower all the way down to the mat, keeping your hands alongside your lower ribs here. So elbows are going to be over your wrists, and you're going to pin those elbows in close to your rib cage. Press the tops of the feet into the mat, and then lift the kneecaps by engaging those legs. And as you inhale, we'll just peel the chest off. So keep your neck in line with your spine. You're going to look down the bridge of your nose. Breathing as you use your back muscles, light in the hands. And then exhale, take it down, ground your forehead. Now inhale, just lift the legs. Point the toes back. Strengthen your glutes, your quads. Flare the toes open if you'd like. And then exhale, lower them down. Inhale, we'll come up one more time, peeling the chest off. Exhale, this time, lift the hands off the mat and lift the legs. Just floating here in this floating cobra. Keeping the elbows drawing in. Take a nice full breath in. And then exhale to bring it all down. Beautiful. Roll back into your child's pose. Sending your hips towards your heels. And then we'll make our way into downward facing dog. So lifting the hips, walking the feet, hips width distance apart. Hands are in line with the shoulders. You're going to ground down here. Feeling the connection through your hands and your feet. And then listen to your body. A lot of times that first down dog is a good place to kind of move. We want to feel like our bodies are opening up. So pedaling out the feet, bending one knee and then the other is a nice way to do that. Using whatever down dog modifications you would like if you need them. Bending into one knee, letting that knee go kind of slack, pressing through the opposite heel. I really like that. Just making sure that you kind of even yourself out, whatever variations you're playing with. Another nice one is to take your feet as wide as the mat, come up onto the toes and roll both your heels in one direction and then just press those hips away, dropping them down and away, keeping your hands evenly pressing into the mat. We'll take that on the other side. If you did that, lifting up onto the toes, drawing the heels to the opposite side, pressing the hips down and away. Big outer hip stretch, feels so good. And then back through center here. If your feet aren't already as wide as the mat, take them there. And we'll start to walk the hands back until our heels ground down. Feel whatever level of comfort you can here with legs straight or bent. Notice what it feels like to bend your knees. Maybe you even want to try it. It might help to lift the tailbone a little bit more. You might get a little more length in your spine. And then your left hand is going to come to the center of the mat, more or less underneath your face. Thread your right arm underneath and reach for your left ankle. Grab the outside of the ankle and then turn your head, neck, and shoulders, your torso, underneath your left arm. So you're pulling on that left ankle with your right hand and getting a nice twist and stretch. Steady with the breath here. Try not to hold it, but keep breathing through it. Let your head relax. And then release. Shake that out. A yes with the head and then a no. And then we'll switch sides. Right hand comes to the center. Left hand threads underneath. And this time you're turning up and underneath that right arm. Maybe taking your gaze up. Knees are bent or legs are straight. And then really give it a good tug with that left hand. Draw your elbow to the left as well. And see if you can go a little deeper. Appreciating what's happening in the body here. Appreciating you being on the mat in this moment. Beautiful, let's release. Heel toe the feet in underneath the hips. Walk it out to downward facing dog. Let's stretch everything out. And then come up high on the toes. Look forward between the hands and take a couple of steps, or one and then two, to arrive at the top of your mat into a forward fold. Grab opposite elbows, let your upper body dangle overneath the front of your legs, over in front of your legs. And then maybe a little gentle sway from side to side. I know that always feels good on my back. Just helps you to kind of release everything. Taking another deep breath in. Exhale, we'll let the arms release to the floor. And then with a gentle bend in the knees, let's slowly roll ourselves up to stand, taking our time to stack our bones, not being in any kind of rush as we rise. And at the very top, let's give the shoulders a couple of nice rolls. So bring them up towards the ears, back and down. And then reversing that direction, taking it forward. Good. And then coming to stand in mountain pose. We'll turn to face you. You guys will be at the top of your mats. You're going to turn your palms forward. Your toes are pointing straight ahead. Feel that nice tuck of the tailbone. So we don't want to be like this. We want to be like this. And when I do that, my tailbone is pulling down, but in front of my hips are pulling up. Close your eyes and just feel that natural stacking of shoulders over hips and hips over heels. Spread the soles of the feet into the mat and grow long and tall. Reaching up through the crown of the head, rooting down through your feet. Feel the majesty and the power of this beautiful pose. Embrace it. And then easing the eyes open, we'll take a few rounds of half sun salutations to warm the body up. Breathing in, take the arms up and overhead. Breathing out, we'll fold from the hips with a nice flat back, lowering all the way down. Halfway lift, fingertips to shins or the mat if you're flexible enough. Pull your heart forward, stretch your tailbone back. Draw your shoulders back and away from your ears. Pull the navel in, nice and strong. Big breath in here. Exhale to soften the knees and release back and down. Inhale, pressing into the feet, rise up, bringing the arms up and overhead. And on the exhale, right back down again, folding from the hips, leading with your heart, bow to the earth. Halfway lift, nice lengthening of the spine here. Exhale to dive back in. Inhale to rise, moving with your breath, flowing here. And exhale to take it all the way down. Halfway lift. Adding on, stepping your left leg back. Stretching that left heel back, bringing your right knee over the right ankle. And then gently lowering that knee down. Take a breath in, hug your front heel to your back knee, knee to heel, and rise up with strong, powerful, engaged legs. Bring your arms up and overhead, and then gently bring the hands down in front of the heart, palms pressing together. Really push the palms together and send your elbows out in opposite directions, creating a strong press in front of the heart. Breathe in and hug your navel to the spine. And as you breathe out, you're just going to twist to the right. So the hands remain in front of the center of the chest, elbows drawing left to right, right to left. Take a breath in, come back to center, keep pressing the palms. Exhale as you turn to the left. Now this is a little bit more challenging on the balance. Open twist here. Take a deep breath in and exhale, come back to center. Bring the hands to the mat and shift your hips back. Wiggle that front foot slightly forward, get some length, and then come into your half splits here. Ardha Hanumanasana. So you're gonna feel this in your right hamstring. Breathe into it. Try to keep your chest lifted here. So ground through your fingertips, or if you need blocks, coming up on a block can be very helpful too. Keep drawing your right hip crease back, lengthening out through that right heel. And then wiggle your heel in towards the center of the mat. Grab it with your left hand, and grab your foot with your left hand. And we're just gonna turn the toes to the left. This is gonna you'll feel this in your ankle, accessing a deeper stretch here. I definitely feel it. I hope you guys do too. And then releasing that. Beautiful. All right, let's bring the foot back out a little bit wider, bend into the knee, and you're gonna lift your back knee up, and you're gonna ground the sole of the foot down. We're gonna walk our hands about a 45-degree angle away from our body, and our hands are gonna be in line with our shoulders. Press into your fingertips and then lower your chest. This is a sort of a down dog upper body with a warrior two lower body. So it's like a kind of a deep down dog lunge. You will feel this in your right hip. I'm pretty sure you will. Keep pressing into the fingertips and sending the chest and the hips back. Breathing into this. This is pretty intense, but it feels really, really good. One more breath in. Exhale it out. Good, and then walking the hands back, frame out your foot. We're gonna step back to plank pose. So always know that you can lower to your knees in plank. Press firmly into your hands. Keep pushing the mat away from you and keep your chest, the tops of your thighs, your belly all nice and lifted and engaged. Let's inhale to rock forward on the toes so your shoulders are ahead of your wrists. Exhale, slowly release as you bend your elbows, hug them in close to you, and then untuck the toes. Inhale to find your cobra pose. Remember, light in the hands. And then exhale, back to plank if you can, or come up through hands and knees, downward facing dog. Couple of breaths here, coming back to home. Settle back into your breath. Notice how you feel. Bring the mind back onto the mat if it's wandered. Take a nice deep breath in, press your chest back towards your thighs, and then exhale it out through the mouth. Look forward at the thumbs. Let's come up high on the toes, bend the knees, maybe step or hop, placing your feet between your hands. And taking a halfway lift, stretch the spine long, straighten out. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, rising. Let the palms meet overhead. And exhale, flowing right back down, keeping the breath and the body moving. Halfway lift here. Stepping back with the right foot this time. Planting the ball of the foot back behind you. Let's stretch out the front of that right hip. And then gently lower the knee down. Hug that front heel in towards your back knee like a squeeze that's going to lift you up. And bring your arms up and overhead. This time we'll take a T-twist. So as you breathe in, reach up through the fingertips. As you breathe out, you're going to twist with your arms open like a T shape. So just rotating from your navel center. Inhale, arms up, reach through center. Exhale, twist to the open side. Good, a little more challenging. Inhale, one more round each side. Exhale, twisting to the closed side. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, open. Arms stay in line with the shoulders. And then inhale back to center. And exhale, hands to the mat. Send those hips back and maybe wiggle that front heel forward, coming into your half split. Different side, maybe different set of sensations here. Be gentle, be kind, be intentional with your breath. You could always give that hamstring a massage with your right hand if you want. But try to keep your chest lifted, spine long, as if you were looking out past your toes, out past the top of your mat. And then heel toe the toes in or the foot in, more towards the center line. Grab the outside of your left foot with the right hand and just gently invite the toes to the right. So getting into that ankle stretch. You may feel this all the way up towards the hip crease. There are a few sound effects in the background, so the thunderstorm is coming. All right, release that. Take your foot a little bit wider and then bend into the knee. Frame it out with your hands. Tuck your toes, your back toes, lift your back knee, and then you're gonna ground the foot all the way to the mat. Walk your hands out at about a 45-degree angle. So this dog lunge on this side, and then hands walk forward as chest melts down. Push into your hands, maybe come to fingertips to do so, and just stretch those hips back. Really, really deep stretch here. Breathe into it as best you can. One side might be more welcoming than the other. That's okay. Strengthen your legs here. Open up your hips. Good. And then look out. And then walk your hands back. This time we'll step right back to downward facing dog. Let that feel really good. Pushing the hips high. Grounding through your thumb and your forefingers. Let's rotate those upper arm bones in towards your ears. Maybe bend the knees, get a little bit deeper lift of the tailbone, and then straighten the legs and see if you can keep that in place. Good, one more big breath in, and exhale it out. Let's look forward at the thumbs, come high on the toes, bend the knees, hop or step to the top. Halfway lift here. Exhale to fold. Inhale to rise, bring the arms up and overhead. And then exhale, hands to the heart. Close your eyes. Take a pause. Feel your heart beating in your chest. Feel the elevation, everything in the body in a positive, beneficial way. Good, and then easy eyes open, release the arms alongside of you. We'll come into a little bit of a balancing sequence here. So I'll turn this way and then I'm gonna turn that way. You can see where we're going. One-legged mountain pose. So your left leg, your right leg, excuse me, is gonna be your standing leg. You're gonna bring your left knee up and you're gonna bring your arms up and overhead. So we're gonna stay here with the knee in line with the hip and your foot flexed. Ground down through your standing leg, find your balance and find a point to settle your vision, your gaze. Transitioning into airplane, take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, arms are gonna sweep back like airplane wings as you send that left leg back. Now the chest stays open here, the shoulder blades squeeze on the back. Reach back through your fingertips, keep your heart lifted. If you fall out, come back in. Just see that as an opportunity to revisit the pose. Take another breath in. On the exhale, soften that front knee, drop the toes all the way back behind you. We're gonna open to warrior two. So let me change position so you can see me. Widen your feet pretty wide here and allow the front heel to line up with the arch of the back foot. We're gonna bend into that front knee, and once you feel settled, extend your arms out from your heart center. Stack that right knee over the ankle and just pay attention to where the knee is tracking. We don't want it to roll in towards the center line. We want it to roll out towards the pinky toe. Let your hips drop, open up, strengthen that back leg, press strongly into that back foot. Beautiful. Let's take our hands behind our back, find a clasp, and just open up the chest. Pull the fist down behind you. Lift your gaze up. Challenge your balance slightly here. So the foundation stays strong and steady. Squeeze your blades together. One more breath in. Exhale to release, float the arms up. Straighten that front leg. You're probably about ready to do that. And let's reverse back into reverse triangle. So ground down through your big toe mound of that right foot. And then really be aware of that stretch from your toe all the way out through your fingers. Opening up the right side body. Legs are strong. Rising up here. And then shifting into triangle. You can shorten your stance here if you'd like to wiggle that back foot in. Keeping your torso nice and long. Lean out over your front thigh. So we want to stretch both sides of the waist long. Then release down. Your hand can come to your shin or a block. You could even take your left hand underneath you, grab a hold of those right ribs, and just rotate the chest open a little bit more. So a lot of us tend to do triangle like this. We really need to be leaning back and open. Imagining there's a wall behind us where we can lean back and into it. So this little movement of helping to rotate the chest can help us feel that action where we want to be in the pose. Ground down through the legs. Maybe take your gaze up towards your left thumb. Breathe in. Breathe out. Beautiful. Rise up. Strong legs. We'll pivot the front toes, take a little bit of a pigeon-toed stance, and on the exhale, float the chest all the way down, reach for your ankles. Breathe in to re-extend the spine, and then breathe out to take your wide-legged forward fold. Pull on your ankles to draw the crown of the head down and lengthen your spine. If this variation isn't to your liking, then walk your hands through your legs, or maybe just keep your arms extended forward. You can bend into one knee and then the other, a little back and forth, whatever feels good. Good, coming to stillness. Walk your hands out. Hands come to the hips. Take a nice deep breath in with a flat spine. And as you exhale, bring yourself upright. Step towards the top of your mat and come back into your mountain pose. Taking that sequence on the other side. The left leg is our standing leg this time. One-legged mountain as the right knee draws in and up. The arms come up and overhead. Take a moment here to find your balance. Steady, steady, steady. Gaze and breath. Really solidify your standing leg. Now picture yourself in airplane pose. As we kick that right leg back, you're going to sweep the arms back like airplane wings, and you're going to keep your chest lifted. Spread your fingers open nice and wide. Breathe your heart open. Chest open. Shoulders on the back. One more breath in here. Nice smooth ride. Bend into the front knee. Step it all the way back and open into warrior two on this side. All right. Left knee is forward. Bend into it. Level out the hips. So if you're feeling like you're really leaning towards that hip crease, let's stack ourselves upright. You want your spine to be vertical here. Press into the outer edge of your right foot. Reach out long through your arms. Take the opposite clasp now. So the other thumb is on top. It's going to feel a little funky. Stretch your knuckles to the floor. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Lift your gaze. Challenge your balance. Strong in the legs, so stay deeply bent into that front knee. Opening up the chest. Breathing in. Breathing out. Let's look forward. Release the arms. Let them float up to shoulder height. And then straighten the front leg and reverse it back. Reverse Trikonasana. Once again, really plug into your left big toe. Draw energy all the way up that left side and reach long through the fingertips. Stretch out that left side. And then rise on up. Heel toe the back foot in just a little bit. And then with a nice long waistline, reach out over that front thigh. Lower down into your version of Trikonasana on this side. Again, you may want to try that little tip of wrapping your right hand underneath the left ribs and rolling the chest open. Holding that and then lifting the arm back and up. It's a really nice little helpful motion to kind of feel that rotation of the chest and the torso. Stretch your arms out in both directions. Beautiful. And rise on up. Nice strong legs. Good. Turn the toes in or out, heels in, and walk them in a little bit closer. So not directly underneath the hips, a little bit wider. We'll bring our hands to our heart center. You're going to take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, go ahead and lower down any amount that you can. Maybe you just kind of pause here, see how that feels. If it starts to feel all right, maybe you go a little bit lower. Maybe you come all the way down into your malasana. That's where we're headed. Elbows find the inner knees, pressing the palms together. Widen those knees and let your tailbone drop. Breathe in and out. Close the eyes here. Pause and stay with this. Use your yogi breaths. You can always grab a block and place it underneath your seat if you need to. Stay with it. Taking deep, deep breaths. Breathing in and breathing out. All right, let's bring those fingertips to the floor. Find a forward fold as you lift your hips, drop your head. Let it shake out. Beautiful. Good, and then walk yourself around towards the top of your mat. Bend the knees and bring yourself all the way down onto your backs. Let's take a full body stretch. Reach long through the fingertips and the toes. Notice how you feel. Can you feel that wonderful rush of energy and that beautiful yoga glow that has built over the course of the practice? All right, let's close with a supported shoulder stand or waterfall pose. So what we're going to do is place our feet on the mat and lift the hips up and find our blocks and place it underneath our sacrum. If you don't have a block, you could do legs up the wall. This will also give you the same benefits. Draw your knees into your chest and then let your legs extend right up to the sky. Your hands can reach around the block or they can butterfly out a little bit. Palms facing up. Let your eyes relax. Go ahead and close them. And just give yourself a moment or two here, feeling into the beneficial effects of reversing the circulation in the body. There should be a lovely weightlessness to the legs, allowing that blood flow to reverse from the feet down towards the heart. This is such a nice way to finish out your day. It's a really good practice to do before bed. Giving the body a chance to kind of reset and restore in a way that it's not accustomed to. Breathe in and breathe out. Letting your breath start to slow down now. You could also do this on a pillow if you don't have a block at home. Good, and then one last nice stretch to the psoas. Let your knees bend here. Let the legs get kind of floppy and just let them kind of scissor back and forth a little bit like wet noodles. Not trying too hard. And then extend your right leg long and then your left leg. One nice big stretch across the front of the hips. Getting into that psoas muscle. Relax your sacrum. Let your shoulders relax. Feel the broadness across the chest. Continue to stay in your body, to witness your breath, even as it slows down. Take another breath in. And then on the exhale, we'll walk the feet back in. Just enough to lift the hips up to release the block. And you'll find your way into Shavasana pose. So take your feet nice and wide. Bring your arms away from your body and let the palms face up if they're not already. Take a moment to really soften everything. So paying attention to where you may just unconsciously hold a little tension or tightness. There could be gripping in your sit bones. There could be gripping in your jaw. Maybe there's still some gripping in the shoulders. Wherever you may feel it or where you know you may hold on to it, see if you can just actively release it now. And give yourself full permission to just relax and be. Nothing on the agenda other than to receive here. Being open to receive. Use your breath or the vision of your breath to just unite your mind and your body here, slowing everything down. Taking the time to integrate. Feel the body get heavier with each exhale. Let yourself just drift. The eyes still closed. Start to come back into a deeper sense of awareness. Listening to what you can hear around you. Sensing the floor below you. Feeling your skin. And then dropping back into the sensation of your breath and the lift and the fall of your chest. Each breath in and out. Be grateful for that breath. Bring a little movement into your hands and feet. Maybe gently turn the head from side to side. And then slowly draw the knees into your heart space and gently rock from side to side. Either rolling off to one side or rolling up. Make your way back and into a seated position. And we'll close the practice sitting tall. Any variation here that feels nice and natural to you. I'll invite you to bring your hands together in front of your heart. Press your thumbs into your chest. Feel the earth below you. Feel the cosmos above you. Know that you are connected to all of those spaces and energies. You're within them and they are within you. Allow your inner light to glow. Feel that radiance within you. And then let's bring the thumbs to the third eye center. We'll bow to that very light that each one holds within us. Namaste. Thank you all for joining me tonight, for bringing a little light and sunshine and warmth into your body. I hope that felt good and relaxing. I look forward to seeing you next week. Maybe Mother Nature will provide some more fireworks next week as well. Thank you so much for joining.